What's going on, man? And I was just going through this, they call it a good book or whatever. And I just came across this and thought I would share it because, wanted to get it off my chest and out my mind. And there may be a lot of people who need to hear it. You may have people that's always asking, they may have a lot of things wrong with them, just born with it, things that they can't control or, no doctor can save it. All they can do is prescribe medicines or something like that. And they may even feel like, no matter how hard I pray, no matter what I ask for, it won't be taken away. Like the old days where Jesus come and heal the blind and heal the sick and all these different things. And sometimes it's not meant for you, and there's a lot of different, story. Everybody likes to use the story of Job. Okay. But I came across this in 2 Corinthians and, I know like if I was one that had infirmities, I would take a lot of comfort in this. It's in chapter 12 and it said, I'm kind of going down, but it's in verse 7 and it said, no, I'm sorry. Let me go back. I'm going to start from verse 5. It said, of such in one will I glory, yet of myself I will not glory, but in mine infirmities. Earlier, he was talking about Enoch in the previous verses. That's why I kind of went down. Then it says, for though I would desire to glory, I shall not be a fool, for I will say the truth. But now I forbear, lest any man should think me above that which he see me to be, and that he hear it of me. Basically, like idol worship, the way people see celebrities larger than life. You know what I mean? Verse 7, it said, unless I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of the revelations, there was given to me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Satan to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measure. And for this thing I besought Lord thrice, he says in here, but 3 times, that it might depart from me. What does that sound like? Does that sound like, oh, I can't stand, I have these pains, I have this and this and that. Why was I born this way? Why does God hate me? Why does, and it's like, no. Because this is Paul, he's saying he besought the Lord 3 times to take it from him. But as he's doing his work, unless people say, whoa, man, you the man, you this, that, you know what I mean? He was probably aware of his own ego, you know what I mean? But a thorn in the flesh, the infirmities that people may be born with, that they suffer, the messenger of Satan to buffet me. The very infirmities is the messenger of Satan. It's put on you for a reason. And think of it this way. You're still going, right? Even in your weakest time, where do you find yourself when you are at your weakest and the pain or whatever the ache is, whatever the infirmity may be, it's really got you so down when you feel like you may be a burden to your family or a burden to your loved ones or, burden to your significant other or anything like that. It was put there for a reason, because what do? You pray and you keep going. You see, the idea is not always going to be, you're going to be healed. Don't look at it that way. That's how the enemy wants you to look at it. It's to see what you do in the face of these adversities, and I don't wish it on anyone, but this, again, if I did have, I would definitely, a light bulb would go off like, whoa, you know what I mean? And let's keep going. Verse 9, and he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. It's because you are not looking for the strength just in your physical self. It's forcing you into the spirit. You know what I mean? Some people may need that. I don't know. It's not for me to say who deserve what or why, you know what I mean? Just from what I'm getting from this is what I'm saying. And he said, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Christ may rest upon me. Therefore, I take pleasure in infirmities, in reproaches, in necessities, in persecutions, in distresses, for Christ's sake. For when I am weak, then am I strong. And there's other verses. I know in previous videos, I can, I can find different verses from different books, just to show, the seamlessness of it. But all I need is this. I'm not going to do that. And he said, I take pleasure in infirmities and reproaches and necessities and persecutions and distresses for Christ's sake. For when I am weak, then am I strong, because you're getting out of the physical. And I mean, you don't necessarily have to be a Christian. There's other physical, other spiritual, workers and things like that speak of similar things, of seeing through the spirits. I'm just using this vehicle because it's familiar with a lot of people. Some people have heard it, other things that are more considered esoteric, they may not get it, So this is what I'm using. And, like I said, it makes sense. Some people may have a problem by me using this. Again, that's probably speaking to something within you that may need worked out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say you're possessed or whatever, but, everybody, we all are susceptible to influences. If you believe one way, then you have to believe in the other. You can't believe in the light and not acknowledge the dark and believe in it, because it believes in you and it acknowledges you and it uses you. So you got to recognize both, yin and yang, as above, so below. What is loosed on earth is loosed in heaven, and what is bound on earth is bound in heaven. All those different little axioms, all the same. You know what I'm saying? So this is just for anyone who may be suffering from something that you were born with that will not go away no matter how hard you pray. The point is, you are praying. You're recognizing something outside of yourself, and the fact that you're still going in the face of. And most of the time, those people with those testimonies that persevere in the face of those infirmities, they have the strongest testimonies. You know what I mean? So don't fret, man. Don't give up on yourself. You're not a burden. Don't let it get you down. Because as it says, a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Satan to buffet me. It was to keep him in check, lest he should be exalted. So he probably knew within himself, man, if I didn't have this infirmity, I would be so boastful and arrogant and, have people worship at my feet. But he's got that to remind him there is something more powerful than you. So it's a humbling thing. And we all have our times where we're humbled, big time. Depends on how hard we got to get spanked. So that's all I want to share about that. Get that off my chest. Take with it what you will. I hope this reaches someone and, someone gets understanding and continue to reach to move in the spirit, in spite of the body, or, I'm not going to say in spite of. Don't hate any part of yourself. You were created that way for a reason. I'll say just, don't let it turn to anger and self-pity, because that's that low vibration. That's that low spirit. That's where it wants you. You know what I mean? Obviously, there's a reason that you've been touched that way. And because your testimony is going to be 10 times stronger because of that. And that's all I got to get off my chest.